for Cougar softball. Today's doubleheader features the Setters of Case University and your Cal State San Marcos Cougars. Now introducing the non-starters for Pace. 1, Priscilla Del Toro. 6, Layla Michelson. 10, Lauren G. Orazio. 15, Jade Alvarado. 16, Faith Scally. 23, Michaela Hughes. 24, Alyssa Smart. 25, Aubrey Carroll. 42, Casey Cusick. 44, Madison Caserna. And now the starters for the Setters. Batting first and playing left field, number 20, Alexa Bonilla. Batting second at DP, number 3, Nikki Shaw. Batting third and pitching, number 2, Giselle Garcia. Batting fourth and playing right field, number 22, Willa Poplowski. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 11, Rael Gorman. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 17, Brianna Shea. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 33, Riley Jenkins. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 21, Sophie Baez. Batting ninth and catching, number 5, Katarina Lino. In the flex position today and playing shortstop, number 8, Haley Matsuda. The Setters are coached by Claudia Stabile, and assisted by Breland Edwards and John Elliott. And now the non-starters for your Cougars. 4, Lacey Ford. 5, Sophie Hunter. 6, Ray D'Amato. 8, Lauren Betlett. 9, Elizabeth Ruiz. 10, Hannah Pandy. 15, Dahlia Fink. 16, Jordan Elias. 18, Jillian Albiati. 19, Riley Jackson. 20, Mackenzie Kessler. 22, Olivia Rivera. 24, Madeline Novella. 32, BB Dakota. And now the starting lineup for your Cal State San Marcos Cougars. Batting first and playing right field, number 42, Delaney Taylor. Batting second and playing first base, number 23, Paige Donnelly. Batting third and playing third base, number 27, Madison Waymeyer. Batting fourth and catching, number 11, Gianna Lombardi. Batting fifth at DP, number 30, Savannah Coyle. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 1, Mackenzie Giuliano. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 2, Star Fleischman. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 3, Marissa Morales. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 14, Brooklyn Yuri. And in the circle today for the Cougars, number 17, Jay Lee Ross. The Cougars are coached by A.J. Robinson. He is assisted by Alyssa Razzo and Rick Aldrich. Fans who are America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad, please stand if you can and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
From the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos, get ready for some non-conference action between the Pace University Setters, coming in at 6-6 overall, taking on the Cal State San Marcos Cougars, ranked number 15 in the nation at 20-5 overall this season, 8-4 in conference play. Let's get a look at the Cal State San Marcos defense for this ball game. In left field, Marissa Morales. In center field, Czar Fleischman. In right field, Delaney Prater. At third base, Madison Waymeyer. At shortstop, Brooklyn Urey. At second base, Mackenzie Giuliano. At first base, Paige Donnelly. Doing the catching today for the Cougars, Gianna Lombardi. And in the circle today, Jaylene Sloss. I'm with my partner, Nick Christian. My name's Cole Mirza. Nick, can you run through some numbers here for Jaylene Sloss?
Jaylene Sloss on the season looking really impressive in her get-go here. 7-3 on the season. Had a little bit of a struggle in the game one this past series against Sonoma State, but really came through in the back end to get that series win. Coming up against a pretty relatively strong Pace team here in game one.
This Pace University offense batting .300 on the year as a team, averaging 3.5 runs per game. They are led off by Alexa Barino, the senior out of Lyndhurst, New Jersey, in her 4th season with Pace. Sloss's first delivery misses the zone. Counts 1-0. Count goes to 2 balls, no strikes as Sloss misses on her first 2 offerings. Pace started the year 4-0. Since then, they're just 2-6.
Well, with those teams that they've been playing on the back end after that 4-0 start. Some of the better ranked teams in the nation, of course, with San Marcos here right now, but also playing 25 ranked Concordia Irvine and number 14 then ranked East Stroudsburg. They're playing a really strong schedule here to start off their season.
Pace from New York traveled cross country to take on Concordia, Cal State Dominguez Hills, and Biola earlier on this West Coast road trip. So far they're 2-4. They split doubleheaders with Concordia and Dominguez Hills. As there's a grounder over there to Giuliano. Easy play for the second baseman, and there's 1 down here in the top of the 1st inning. They were swept by Biola most recently. And now they've got their hands full with one of the best teams in the country here on the road, the Cal State San Marcos Cougars. Nikki Chong will step up to the plate. A freshman out of Kaneohe, Hawaii. This year, 1 for 4 at the plate. Sloss falling behind here. 2 balls, no strikes. She fell behind to Barino, the first batter of this inning, but no harm done to Sloss. Here's the 2-0. That one finds the zone. 2 balls and a strike. The count now on Nikki Chong. Sloss, of course, the 2024 CCAA Pitcher of the Year. There's a line drive into shallow center for a base hit. And the freshman Chong has her 2nd hit of the season. And Pace has a 1-out base runner at first base.
Really good approach there by Chong, just being able to read the ball up in the zone, capitalizing on taking a pitch that's not necessarily a big-time facet there for Sloss. She was behind in the count, being able to just produce for her team right there at the beginning.
Really nice off-speed pitch tossed in there by Jaylene Sloss, had Giselle Garcia off balance.
I like to see that Sloss is working early with the off-speed. I think it's going to be really key for her in this game as she works down in the zone. Still keeping the mix of the speeds is going to be able to throw these pace batters off balance.
Counts 1-1 misses low. Giselle Garcia, a senior out of Modern Day Catholic High School down in Chula Vista, not too far from here in San Marcos. She was an All-American last year. Garcia is absolutely dominant in the circle, and she's a pretty good hitter as well. A really solid two-way player for these setters. Garcia hitting .313 on the season. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Sloss to Garcia, grounded softly to Donnelly. Her throw is going to get by Yuri and into left field. Marissa Morales backing that one up, gets it back into the infield, and with one away, the setters are in business here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, just looking back on that play, really good setup right there to maybe possibly turn a double play, but unfortunately the ball gets a little bit too strong from Donnelly to Yuri. 2 runners on here for the setters now, 1 out.
And Willa Poplawski, a very dangerous hitter at the plate, batting .450 this year. Has 3 home runs and 3 doubles. A .750 slugging percentage early on here in 2025 for Willa Poplawski. Caught off balance on the off-speed pitch thrown by Sloss, and it's going to be no balls, 2 strikes. Poplawski out of J. Sarah Catholic High School up there in South Orange County. 2024 NE10 first team selection. And she check swings at that 0-2 offering from Sloss. She did go around. A big strikeout there for Jaylene Sloss, and there are 2 away now here in the top of the first.
It's just nice to see Sloss being able to still be dominant in the circle, keeping her bread and butter, using her stuff, whether it be down in the zone. Just being able to get her off 3 straight pitches is big for her at this beginning of this outing.
Rael Gorman, the junior, batting .324 this year, has been really dangerous for the setters. 7 of her 12 hits have gone for extra bases. But she's behind in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. Jaylene Sloss doing a real nice job getting ahead. Here's the 0-2. Misses down and away. Pace University went 33-16 in 2024. 15-7 in conference play last year. Finished 3rd in the regular season in the NE10. This is a grounder straight back to Sloss, who will toss it over to Donnelly. And Sloss is able to work around some danger there in the top of the first inning. No harm done. The setters do leave a couple of runners on base. We're going to keep it right here as we get you ready for the bottom half of the first inning. Let's get a look at this Pace University defense here today. It's going to be Alexa Barino out there in left, Rael Gorman in center, Willa Poplawski in right. At third base, Brianna Shea. Shortstop, you have Kaylee Matsuda. Second base, Sophie Valle. First base, Riley Jenkins. And doing the catching, going to be Katarina Luna. In the circle today for Pace, going to be none other than Giselle Garcia. Garcia is dominant in the circle this season, a 1.04 earned run average and just over 43 innings pitched. She struck out 74 and walked just 6. Hitters are batting .155 against Garcia. Nick, how can this potent Cal State San Marcos offense get going against Garcia today?
just with Garcia, she's going to be pounding the zone in and out, whether she's working up or down. She also has a mix with her curveball that kind of blends that vertical zone for her. So just being able to select a pitch where they're able to capitalize, preferably lower in the zone, as she tends to work up when she's ahead in counts, is going to be big for these Cougars on their offensive sprint here this season and in the series.
This Cougars group batting .333 on the year as a team. That's second in the CCAA, 30th in the nation. And it's going to be Delaney Prater who will lead things off for this Cougars offense. Prater, a graduate of Arcadia High School, watches that one go by for a ball. 1-1 the count. Prater hitting .421 this year. A slugging percentage over 500. She's been very productive so far in 2025. She goes after a pitch way up there, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes still. Head coach A.J. Robinson in his first season at the helm of this program here at Cal State San Marcos was an assistant coach for the Cougars for the past 3 seasons. Coming in to have a word with our home plate umpire today, Bill Plant. Here's a 1-2 from Garcia to Prater. Grounded sharply over to Matsuda, and Matsuda able to field it cleanly and toss it over to Jenkins. Now some confusion around the infield here. Our first base umpire, Thomas Davis, came in to have a word, and now the head coach of the Pace University Setters, Claudia Stabile, comes out to have a word. Did you see anything there, Nick?
I didn't see anything relatively in particular on why they're asking. It looks like there might be a concern with who's in the field, but I don't think it's really anything of major concern.
All right, well, if we get an update on that, we will provide that for you. Garcia coming in to drop her glasses off, and we are just about ready to get back underway here. Prater still in the box, leading this thing off for the Cougars. So Prater is able to come back to the box. There are still no outs here in the bottom half of this first inning. And she continues to battle up there.
Really good here to see from Prater that she's been able to work the count. Giselle Garcia obviously working up with the ball, working with the rise a lot, and still able to time it up there on the off speed that's a little high. She's been able to work deep in this count, especially with how dominant of a pitcher that Garcia is. It's going to be key for the Cougars to ramp up her pitch count early so that her endurance has to be coming through in the back end.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Prater. And she times this one up nicely, lines it sharply over to Shea there at third base. Or I'm sorry, that's Gorman. Rael Gorman with a nice play. And she fires a strong throw over to Jenkins. There is 1 away here in the bottom of the first. So here's Paige Donnelly. She's 3 for her last 11 at the plate. Batting .395 on the year. An all-conference first-team selection last year. Garcia firing a strike in there. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. We have a premier matchup here today for you between Giselle Garcia and this Cal State San Marcos offense. This Cougars offense averages 5 runs per game. That's second in the CCAA. As Donnelly looks at strike 3 there, and there are now 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
Garcia was just really able to show her dominance through that whole sequence to Donnelly, working up in the zone early, getting her to swing at the rise ball, and then catches her in with the screwball right there, just being able to work her zone out and then come back in. It's going to be key for her going into this long run.
Madison Waymeyer steps up for San Marcos. Giselle Garcia, in her career at Pace, holds a 55-27 win-loss record, a 1.67 earned run average, and has now thrown 556 innings. Has struck out 768 batters, walking just 137, and hitters are batting just 175 against Garcia throughout her career. And she's ahead on Waymeyer, 1-2 the count. Waymeyer, another all-conference first-team selection in 2024 for Cal State San Marcos, but Garcia blows one by her, and she gets 2 strikeouts there in the bottom of the first inning. We are scoreless after 1 here in San Marcos. We're back here at the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos. It's going to be Brianna Shea to lead things off for the setters, going up against Jaylene Sloss. These Cougars in 2024 finished second in the CCAA standings with a 37-22 overall record. They went 20-12 in conference play last year. This team won the CCAA tournament for the first time in program history in 2024, but were eventually eliminated by Western Washington in the West Regional stage of the NCAA tournament. Nick, they're certainly building something special here at Cal State San Marcos.
Yeah, I mean, with me also being the team manager, I get to see a little bit of them in a more personal side. This team has grown leaps and bounds in the past 3 years that I've been here. We have a strong returning class that's been able to be dominant through this conference in and out and just be able to compete in I'd say with every team in the nation. Unfortunately, last year, we had our run ended by Western Washington, but then again, Western Washington ended up being the national runner-up this past season. And they were able to show that, like, they were that type of team that we wanted to be, and we were competing against them. We beat them in one of those games at the regional, but running out of gas, unfortunately, at the back end. But with this team right now, it's looking really promising as we're trying to make our postseason run here again.
Certainly an exciting group to keep an eye on here in the CCAA. Sloss is able to get Shea to ground out to Donnelly to start out this top half of the second inning. So 1 down, and that's going to bring up Riley Jenkins, an all-conference second-team selection in 2024 in the NE10. That one just misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Jenkins making her 85th appearance in a Pace uniform here today, batting .346 for her career. Grounds this one through the right side of the infield, and it's a base hit for Riley Jenkins. The setters have a one-out base runner.
Again, a really good approach by the pace hitters. They could hit really well to the opposite side, being able to take advantage of that ball. It was honestly a nice little jam piece there by Sloss, but being able to muscle it out and just get the single there is big for the pace team here in the second inning.
Yeah, how about the muscle shown there by Jenkins? That's going to bring up Sophie Valle with one down. Valle, a junior out of Chino, California, not too far from here in San Marcos. About 2 hours north. Valle, a career .273 hitter. Here's the 1-1. That one finds the zone. A ball and 2 strikes to count now. Runs have been very hard to come by for this pace group in recent games. And you'd expect that trend to continue here today against a very good defensive group in Cal State San Marcos. This team has a 97% fielding percentage. That's 3rd in the CCAA and top 40 in the nation. There's a soft grounder to Giuliano. Giuliano fields cleanly and tosses it over to Donnelly. And there are 2 down now in the top of the second. Jenkins is able to move up to second base on that fielder's choice. So Katarina Luna will come up with a chance to give the setters the lead here. Ball gets away from Lombardi, but Jenkins unable to move up. In the doubleheader yesterday against Biola, Pace was only able to muster 3 runs throughout those 2 ball games. You go back to the doubleheader against Cal State Dominguez Hills, they were only able to muster 2 runs throughout that doubleheader. And they were only able to muster 4 runs at Concordia. So the offense for Pace has been a bit quiet as of late. Now that is a road trip at 3 very high quality groups with good pitching and good defense. But they're looking for that offense to spark up a little bit here.
Yeah, Cole, it'll be really interesting to see how these pace setters are going to be able to hone in on Sloss, with this being their 7th and 8th game of 4 days, which is very, very hard to do for almost any athlete to be able to be playing that many in a row. Coming on for a long away sprint here in the West Coast, especially with also factors of them being from the East Coast and having to deal with time changes and environmental changes. It'll be interesting to see for this game how they're going to be doing here.
Sloss loses Luna, and Katarina Luna takes her base. It's Luna at first, Jenkins at second. And now Alexa Barrino will step up to the plate. She grounded out in the first inning. Counts 1 ball, no strikes. 75 degrees and sunny here in San Marcos. An absolutely beautiful day for some softball. There's a grounder through the left side of the infield. Claudia Stabile is going to hold Jenkins up at third. And the bases are loaded now in the top of the second inning, as Nikki Chong, the freshman, will come up to the plate for Pace.
Really good hitting and really good offensive opportunities to be able to be taken advantage of here for the setters. They've been able to really focus and take advantage of a walk that was given by Sloss and a couple base hits here and there got them with the bases loaded here in the top of the second.
Nikki Chong in the box. A.J. Robinson going to come out and have a word with Jaylene Sloss. Cougars know that in the opposing dugout, Giselle Garcia is sitting over there. She's dominant. San Marcos know that runs are going to be hard to come by for their own offense here today. They want to keep this ball game as close as possible throughout.
Yeah, I think from the get-go, seeing what's on paper, this was going to be a pitcher's duel no matter what. You have Jaylene Sloss coming off of her incredible season last year with her accolades, but also on the other side too, Giselle Garcia coming from a lot of accolades from her own region. Both really good pitchers, different looks with Jaylene coming down into the zone and Garcia going up. It'll be interesting to see how these batters are going to be able to adjust with two different types of pitching.
A huge moment in this ball game early on. Here's Sloss's 1-0. In there for a strike. Jenkins at third. Luna at second. Barino at first. Chong facing off against Jaylene Sloss. And it's a ball and 2 strikes now as Sloss able to work ahead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses in the dirt. Nice block there from Gianna Lombardi. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pace University trying to break through. Ball misses down and away, and the count moves full. There is nowhere to put Nikki Chong. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Sloss is able to get a big swing and a miss there from Chong. And the Setters leave 3 runners on base there in the top of the second inning. Jaylene Sloss able to work around danger yet again. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. It's scoreless here in San Marcos. We're back here at the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos. The number 15 ranked Cougars are 9-1 at home this year. They've been dominant at this field. The only loss was to Hawaii Pacific 2-1 back on February 3rd. Nick, that was a crazy ball game.
It was an impressive performance by Layla Molina of Hawaii Pacific. Had one heck of a game there, stymieing the potent Cougar offense to only 1 run. And with her team coming in the top of the 7th to be able to get her 2 runs were key for that game. But for the Cougars, their home advantage is very strong here. It's very hard for them. They have shown that they haven't been able to lose here at home, and it's hard to be able to play them in this situation here.
Lombardi skies one in the infield. Under it and making the play is Riley Jenkins, and there's 1 quick out here in the bottom of the second.
Again, with Garcia just being able to work the rise ball up in the zone, it's her bread and butter pitch. Being able to fool batters, get weak contact up in the air is key for her defense to be working behind her. It'll be interesting to see how the Cougars are able to adjust to the upper pitches in the zone.
Savannah Coyle, a great two-way player for the Cougars, steps up to the plate. Batting .381 this year. A three-time all-conference selection. Was selected to the second team in the All-CCAA each of the last 2 seasons. She was a first-team selection back in 2022. Garcia misses way up high on that one.
With Coyle and Garcia, they do have some history here. A nice little fun fact about these two is that they were the pitching matchup against each other at their senior year in their high school CIF San Diego Section Championship game down in 2021. With Coyle coming from Rancho Buena Vista and Garcia coming in from Mater Dei Catholic. That was a really good game. Had a lot of D1 commits, a lot of power in how big that game was back in 2021 in the end of COVID. They played it down at Helix High School. A really impressive performance by Garcia there. She got the best of Rancho Buena Vista back then. But in previous times, 2 years ago when Pace came here and played San Marcos, Coyle got the win against Garcia there. So it'll be interesting to see if Garcia is able to come back after 2 years or if it's going to be dominance again here by the Cougars.
Crazy to think about the history between Coyle and Garcia. It goes all the way back to their time in high school. A rare walk issued there by Giselle Garcia. That's just going to be the 7th walk of the season issued by Giselle Garcia. So Coyle takes her base, but she will be pinch ran for. It's Hannah Tandy running for the Cougars over there at first base. And now Mackenzie Giuliano stepping up for San Marcos. Her first at bat of the day. Giuliano hitting over 300 this year. Ball and no strikes, the count. That one catches the outer part of the zone. A ball and a strike, the count now on Giuliano. Tried to lay down a bunt. That one goes out of play. This is the 170th appearance of Mackenzie Giuliano's career here at Cal State San Marcos. Played 50 games in each of her first 3 seasons here at CSUSM. She fouls that one down the left side. Count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2. The off-speed misses way up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Cal State San Marcos come into this ball game very hot. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games. Most recently, they took 3 out of 4 on the road at Sonoma State University last week. And they currently sit in 3rd place in the CCAA standings. They're 1 game back of the number 14 ranked Cal State East Bay Pioneers, who sit in 1st place. The San Francisco State Gators are also off to a really hot start in conference play. Going to be a really fun conference season here, Nick.
Yeah, with the CCAA, it's never going to be an easy game. It's always going to be a dogfight with whoever you're going to play. And with East Bay, San Marcos, and San Francisco State respectively, just being able to fight with each other for those top 3 spots right now. And with the previous performance by the Cougars in their last series against Sonoma State, they struggled in that first game. They were stymied by Charlie Johnson and the Seawolves in a game that ended in 5 innings. But the resilience of the team and being able to bounce back after that was huge for them. And what Coach A.J. Robinson believes is to be the big turnover of the season, kind of with everything, all gears going forward, seems like everything's going in the right direction.
Giuliano able to reach on that fielder's choice. A nice play by Giselle Garcia. So 2 away. Czar Fleischman steps up for the Cougars. Fleischman was 2 for 5 in the series at Sonoma State. There goes Giuliano. And Giuliano is in there safely with a stolen base. She's now 3 for 3 this year on stolen base attempts. Two balls and a strike. Czar Fleischman with a chance to give the Cougars the lead early on here. Pace University received votes in the most recent top 25 poll in the national rankings. Now the ruling from Plant is that Fleischman did swing there, so it's a ball and 2 strikes now instead of 2 and 1. Foul away. Garcia using the speed on that one. Giuliano at second. Here's the pitch from Garcia to Fleischman, and Garcia blows it by Fleischman. The Cougars stranded Giuliano out there at second base. It's a pitcher's duel here in San Marcos after 2 innings. Jaylene Sloss back out in the circle for her 3rd inning of work. So far, Pace University have struggled with runners on base. They're 1 for 6 against Jaylene Sloss with runners on base. They've left 5 runners on so far in the first 2 innings of play. Giselle Garcia starting things off for the Setters. The Setters have put pressure on Sloss early, but they've been unable to come up with that big hit, Nick.
Yeah, I think that they've been able to read on the down pitch really well, just seeing that she's predominantly working down, as I said, but taking advantage of ones where she's coming in behind in the count, as right now Garcia's ahead of her 2-0, where Jaylene Sloss is behind, but making her kind of have to throw strikes in situations where they're able to hone in and see that it's going to be a strike.
There's a fly ball deep to right field. That ball is going to get off the top of the wall. Garcia is into second base with a stand-up double. And that one was very close to leaving the building here.
Yeah, again, just with Garcia doing a really good job of being ahead in the count, not swinging at pitches that are relatively out of the zone or going out of the zone. These pace batters have been having a really good eye in the lower bottom half of the zone, trying to locate pitches that they could capitalize on, or if it's a mistake by Sloss.
So a leadoff double here to start out the top of the third inning. And Pace University have had runners in scoring position. They've had at least one runner in scoring position in now every inning of this ball game. But as we've noted, they've been unable to come up with that big hit so far. 1 for 6 with runners on base. Willa Poplawski, the right setter, is at the plate. She's the hottest hitter on this team at the moment. Hitting well over 400 on the year. She struck out swinging back in the first inning. The 0-2 had Poplawski way out in front. She fouled that one down the left side out of play. Sloss almost was able to get the swing and miss there from Poplawski. What do you think she goes to now, having seen Poplawski way out in front there?
I think that she really did well on the off speed. It was just higher in the zone. I think she could go down with her drop curve right now to see if she get the swing and miss down and out, or she's going down and in, trying to get her in her hands.
There's a grounder foul down the right side. Poplawski battling hard here. Poplawski has struck out the most times of anyone on this Pace University squad. Here's the 0-2. That one misses down low. A ball and 2 strikes.
The beauty of having that stat, though, I think, is that it tells me as a pitcher that this batter's aggressive. I could try to get her to swing at pitches when I'm ahead, but also as a batter in that perspective, it's like knowing that I'm going to be trying to swing at any pitch that I think is good is beneficial for me. Especially when you're hot in the season, it's telling me that like I'm seeing the ball well. Where for Jaylene being ahead in the count, she could be able to work a little bit more, try to get her to chase on something low and out in the zone, or trying to get her to swing at something out of her reach that looks kind of good at start.
A discussion here between Bill Plant and the Pace University first base coach. As the ruling there was that Poplawski was out. She had grounded that one softly in the infield. Now an infield single off the glove of Sloss for Gorman. Garcia moves up to third base, and there are runners at the corners here for the setters with one down. That first out was recorded on a Poplawski softly hit ground ball that ended up hitting her as she left the box. So a chance for the setters to take an early lead. It's Brianna Shea now at the plate. Shea grounded out to first in the second inning. She's 0 for 1 in this game. She's way ahead in the count here. 2 balls, no strikes. Cal State San Marcos, a very good team at turning double plays. Now would be a really good time for one of those. Cougars have turned 12 double plays so far in 2025. That ranks 21st in the nation. Last year, they led the nation in double plays turned. Here's the 2-1. Misses up and away. 3 balls and a strike now on Shea. Shea, a career .330 hitter, possesses a lot of power. 16 home runs in her career, 93 runs batted in, a .538 slugging percentage. And she fouls that one back. Count goes to 3-2. Brianna Shea hails from Oceanside, California, a graduate of El Camino High School, a local product, returning home to play this doubleheader. A big pitch early on in this ball game. Here's the 3-2 from Sloss to Shea. This one's lifted into shallow center, and the Setters have taken a 1-0 lead on an RBI single off the bat of Brianna Shea.
Again, with these pace hitters, they've been really able to see the ball well, not taking pitches that Sloss has been able to get a lot of swings and miss on or weak contact out of the zone. Being very selective with their pitches has shown for them to be able to get this lead here in the 3rd inning.
That is RBI number 94 on the career for Brianna Shea. Jenkins scores her 40th run of her pace career. Gorman at second base. And there is a ball driven down the right field line. It gets down. Gorman coming around third. She will score easily. Shea moves up to third. And it's an RBI single off the bat of Riley Jenkins. It's 2-0 Pace University. Time is called by the Cougars defensively. They're going to have a meeting in the circle. Riley Jenkins I'm sorry. That was Kaylee Matsuda.
Actually, so Matsuda's coming in the pinch run for Jenkins. Jenkins did really well. Just seeing the ball low in the zone, being able to read the drop down, takes it where she usually takes it, being able to be strong, taking Oppo down the right field lines, coming up big for her Settlers here as they now have the 2-0 lead. Matsuda's coming in, has a little bit more speed than Jenkins at first base. Look to her to maybe steal second here in the next couple of pitches.
My mistake on that. Matsuda pinch running at first. One away, runners at the corners. And here's Sophie Valle. Two runs plated here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Setters. Looking to add on. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike now on Valle. She grounded out to second base in the top of the 2nd. Really nice off-speed pitch there from Sloss, had Valle off balance. Pace finally able to come up with some big hits with runners on base. The 2-2 misses down low and the count moves full. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, it was foul tipped into the glove of Lombardi. A big strikeout there for Sloss, and there are 2 down.
Really good sequence to finish off there by Sloss. She had a little bit of a control issue when it's coming down to her low and out on the plate, but trusting her screwball inside, being able to get the swing and miss under the hands there. 2 outs here for the Cougars.
So it's Katarina Luna now with 2 away and runners at the corners. Brianna Shea standing at third. Kaylee Matsuda with some speed over there at first. Luna walked in the last half inning. And she's way ahead here. 2 balls and no strikes the count as Sloss misses inside there. Sloss getting the sign. She's ready, she delivers. This one is lifted into shallow left field. Marissa Morales ranging in to make the play, and the side is retired there in the top of the 3rd inning. But Pace University take a 2-0 lead thanks to a couple of RBI singles off the bat of Riley Jenkins and Brianna Shea. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in San Marcos. Morales, Yuri, and Prater due up for San Marcos here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. These 2 programs have met just 2 times prior to this ball game here today. They split that doubleheader back on March 14th, 2023. In the Cougars win, it was Savannah Coyle who threw 7 shutout innings to grab the victory for Cal State San Marcos. In that ball game, Anissa Arredondo had a solo shot, and Madison Waymeyer scored a couple of runs. Cougars won that game 3-0. Cal State San Marcos did lose the other ball game played that day, 7-4. Anna Acevedo threw 7 innings for Pace that day and earned the victory. A couple of former Cougars, Zoe Ballin and Tay Shelton, were the pitchers that day for San Marcos. So just the 3rd meeting all time between these 2 programs. Here's the 0-2 on Morales. That one misses down and away. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Marissa Morales hitting .417 on the year. And now Giselle Garcia shaking off her left hand, says she's okay. Quick timeout from Pace to come out and check on her. Morales, this is just her 13th at bat of the year, but she's got 5 hits already. What do you like about Marissa Morales at the plate, Nick?
I think with Marissa Morales, she's a very scrappy speed player coming from the left side. She can hit away, she could slap, she's a triple threat, she can lay the bunt down. She's behind here in this count, but just really using her experience coming from a high level of play throughout her entire career here at San Marcos, just being able to read the ball. She was able to see the down pitch low, but trying to take away the up pitch here for Garcia, as Garcia's been relatively successful over this first time through the lineup with the rise ball.
Nice take there from Morales. She recognized that pitch down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the sophomore out of Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Eastvale. And she fouls that one away again. Not going down easy is Morales. She's only struck out twice all year. Not an easy player to strike out. And she fouls the 2-2 back again. Nice play there by Luna behind the dish. Here's the 2-2 from Garcia. Fouled away by Morales yet again. Giselle Garcia back out for her 3rd inning of work. She has been dominant so far. She has completely shut down this Cougars lineup through 2 innings. She's been efficient, already has 3 strikeouts, has yet to allow a hit. She did walk Savannah Coyle. That was the only runner on base for San Marcos in this game. Here's the 2-2. That one misses outside, and the count moves full.
Really good at bat here by Morales, just being able to, again, as I said earlier, take away the rise ball, keeps on fouling it off, trying to see what works for her to be able to get a hit, but also trying to work up the count here for Garcia. Has a really good at bat, coming around 8 to 9 pitches here. We'll see how it goes from here now.
Here's the 3-2. That one misses outside. A really nice at bat taken by Marissa Morales. And the Cougars have the leadoff hitter on board. Well, you mentioned how scrappy Marissa Morales can be. She just showed it in that at bat there, Nick.
Yeah, a really good performance, about 10 plus pitches. That's all you could ask for in a quality at bat. With that too, she could also is really fast on the bases, could start a little thing up here for the Cougars, create some chaos, try to capitalize on a couple mistakes. We'll see how it goes with Brooklyn Urey here at the plate, getting the start here at shortstop. Another similar facet that she has to Morales is being quick from the left side. We'll see how she'll be able to use her bat here to continue the offense here for the Cougars.
So now we've got a discussion between Bill Plant and Thomas Davis. I didn't see any defensive changes.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what this timeout is for, or what coaches are possibly challenging on this play, or what the umpires are discussing. It seems like everything's in routine if it comes to logistics-wise. There's no concerns when it comes to out of lineup concerns or any substitutions relatively. So not entirely sure what that conversation was about there, Cole.
All right, well, we're ready to get back to the action. It's Brooklyn Urey stepping up to the plate for San Marcos with Morales at first base. Yuri squares to bunt and takes the first pitch for a strike.
Looks like he actually called the swing there on that one. Wasn't sure if she went around. It looks like she pulled back, but the umpire's call stands there. She might have had her bat barrel around the plate there.
Bill Plant said that Yuri offered. She tries to lay down the bunt again, but it rolls foul, and now she's behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Now, Nick, you know this team really well. With 2 strikes, do you think they still try to lay down a bunt here, or do you think they give Yuri the green light?
Give Yuri the green light. She could still put down a soft slap that's very similar to a bunt. That could still be putting it in the front. But it's going to be, again, using her eye, coming from behind in the count, using a 2-strike approach, just to be able to hone in on a pitch that she's able to really take advantage of here in the zone.
A ball and 2 strikes from Garcia to Yuri. Foul tipped, will do it again. Cougars have really yet to get going against Garcia. Still haven't gotten a hit, but they have been able to reach base twice thanks to a couple of walks. Here's the 1-2. Grounded softly. Fielded by Garcia. There's no play anywhere. And the Cougars are in business to start out the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Again, really good use of the slap there by Yuri, just being able to put the ball in front of Garcia, kind of make her have to have control of not just her pitching, but also the fielding of the defense. It's a lot of pressure to put on a pitcher, especially when she's having some concerns early in the game. So turning it over now to Prater at the top of the lineup. We'll see how the adjustments are made second time through for these Cougars.
Cal State San Marcos have their first hit of the game, and there's their second hit of the game. Prater's gonna line this one down the right field line. It gets all the way to the wall. Morales scores from first. Yuri also scores. And Prater is into third with a stand-up triple. We are tied at 2-all here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Talk about capitalizing, talk about the adjustments here by the Cougars second time through the lineup. Prater just being able to see a pitch that she sees down the heart of the zone, takes it down the right field line for a triple. Tie ball game here in San Marcos.
Donnelly lifts this one into shallow right. It's going to get down, and Prater's going to come home to score. So just like that, Cal State San Marcos answer right back, and they take a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Again, it looks like the adjustment here by the Cougars is to find that first pitch strike. Garcia likes to pump it hard into the zone, but seeing it down the heart of the zone as she's being very aggressive early in these counts, just take advantage of what you see and just put the ball in play, make the defense have to work for it. 2 big hits here by the Cougars brings them the lead here, and it looks like number 4, Macy Fuller, is going to be running for Donnelly here. Another fresh set of legs here for the Cougars. She could start some chaos here on the bases, try to get more of a lead here for the San Marcos and for Sloss.
Delaney Prater hits her first triple of the season. She picks up RBIs number 10 and 11 on the year. Paige Donnelly also picks up her 19th RBI on that single to right field. And now here comes Madison Waymeyer.
Looks like Waymeyer tried to put down the bunt on that last pitch, but with Garcia coming in, up and in with the pitch, I think it hit her in the head a little bit as a foul ball, but coming back now behind 0-2, we'll see how Waymeyer is able to adjust in a 2-strike approach.
No balls and 2 strikes to count on the very dangerous Madison Waymeyer. And she's gonna go down looking. A 3-pitch strikeout there for Giselle Garcia, and a nice response. There's 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Again, Ms. Garcia just being able to use what she's good at working with, being inside the batters and working up in the zone. Got Waymeyer in 3 straight pitches there, and is continuing to show her work here that she's ahead now against Lombardi.
Prior to this inning, Giselle Garcia had been absolutely dominant through 2 innings. But the Cougars have been able to string together some hits. The leadoff walk to Morales sparked everything. And there's a drive to center field off the bat of Lombardi, but a great play by Gorman out there, making the play, and a strong throw in to gun down Fuller. That's going to retire the side there in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but the Cougars take the lead. It's 3-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. A high-scoring 3rd frame here in what looked to be a pitcher's duel at the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos has seen this game go to 3-2. Jaylene Sloss back out for her 4th inning of work, and she's going to face off against Alexa Barino. The top of the order for the setters. Barino singled in the 2nd inning, and she grounded out in the 1st. Counts 2 balls, no strikes. Sloss already up over 70 pitches. The setters have done a really nice job of working counts. And now it's 3-0. Sloss losing a little bit of command here to start out the top of the 4th.
Yeah, it looks like she's having a little bit of a hard time getting some control of her drop right now. Wondering if she needs to just relax and take a step back on that, maybe throw a little bit of her screw to try to get the batter to get a swing and miss here.
The 3-0 misses inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to begin the top of the 4th inning.
But I'm wondering again too, Cole, like what you said, she's already around the 70, 74 pitch count now, so it's going to be a little bit tiring for her. It's later in the counts. The pace settlers have been able to really work her throughout this entire game. So we'll see how she's able to adjust in the later half, or if they're gonna have to go to the bullpen here for the Cougars.
Nikki Chong, the freshman, 1 for 2 in this ball game. She struck out with the bases loaded her last time up. Trying to lay down a bunt, unsuccessful. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Chong did single back in the 1st inning. Here's the 0-2. That one misses outside. Now 1-2. What do you go to here, Nick?
I think with seeing her success with those first 2 pitches is definitely, I think it kind of factored in that Chong was trying to go for a sac bunt, but now that she's ahead in the count, probably working, I'd say low and in, try to work her screwball under her hands would be really good here.
Sloss misses down low there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But then again, Sloss still able to show that she has a lot of trust in her drop, going low and out there. But I think trying to work a little bit more into these batters, get a little bit more of a jam contact feeder defense is going to be key for her in the later half of this game.
Sloss unable to put Chong away, and the count runs full. Here's the 3-2 from Sloss to Chong. And Chong is said to have held up by the first base umpire, Thomas Davis. That was close, but Pace University now with 2 walks to lead off the top of the 4th inning. Jaylene Sloss has uncharacteristically walked 3 batters in this game. And now Giselle Garcia, a chance to help out her own cause in the box here. Here's the 1-0. Really nice off speed there from Sloss to get Garcia off balance.
Again, I think just with a little bit of the loss of the control, being able to reset with the off speed is really good. Being able to also use it a little bit more later in this game is going to be key. I think that with coming second, third time through the lineup against Sloss.
There was the off speed again there, and Lombardi trying to back pick Barino out there at second base.
Yeah, I think just as I was going to continue to say, but that was on me. I think just second, third time through the lineup for these Settlers are going to start making adjustments a lot more, seeing a lot of her pitches, getting a little bit more of a look on her is going to be key for her to be able to mix her pitches a little bit more, especially with her loss of control. As I said, just being able to move it throughout the zone is going to be something that's going to be a big factor going into the later half of this game.
The last time Garcia was up, she almost left the building. Count runs full here as that one just misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garcia drove one off the top of the wall in right center field in the last half inning. Here is the 3-2 pitch from Sloss to Garcia. That one misses down and in, and the bases are loaded on 3 straight walks from Jaylene Sloss to lead off the top half of the 4th inning.
Just in a couple unfortunate calls there for Sloss. She really liked those past couple of pitches that she was throwing. It looks like they may or may have not been in the zone. A little bit of a tighter zone here from the home plate umpire, but it looks like we're going to be getting a pitching change here for the Cougars.
So with that, Jaylene Sloss's day will come to an end for Cal State San Marcos. Her final stat line goes 3 innings pitched. She allowed 2 earned runs on 7 hits, walked 4, struck out 3, and she is responsible for all 3 base runners for Pace University. Coming into the ball game is going to be a very reliable reliever for Cal State San Marcos, Savannah Coyle. So far this year, 5-1 with a 2.91 earned run average. She has struck out 31 and walked 12 in just under 58 innings pitched, and she has done really good in high leverage moments. She's got 3 saves this year. That's 14th in the nation.
Yeah, Coach AJ Robinson going to the southpaw in the circle, coming from the left side. She's going to give it honestly a completely different look than Sloss. She's going to be working up in the zone with her rise and her curve. See her off speed as her reset pitch, and we're going to see how it's going to be, how this look may benefit or may not benefit the Cougars here in the top of the 4th with the bases loaded.
Well, Cal State San Marcos just took the lead in the last half inning. It's been a back and forth few frames here, and a chance for the setters to answer right back and try to tie this ball game up and potentially take the lead. The defense for the Cougars remains the same. The infield is the same. The outfield is the same. Lombardi's still catching. The very dangerous Willa Popolowski set to step into the box with the bases loaded. So it looks like there is a defensive change for San Marcos. In right field, it's Lauren Deplich coming into the ball game.
Yeah, with Deplich going into right field, you're going to see a lot more speed on the right side. With this offense really working the right side, I think that's a really good change for Robinson and the Cougars, as with her speed in the outfield, she'll be able to have more range to track more balls, especially in this big-time situation with bases loaded. Looking for her to be able to be a big-time playmaker out in right field.
Madison Paserno, the sophomore, is running at first base for Pace. A really nice first pitch there from Coyle to get ahead on Popolowski. It's Barino at third, Chong at second, Paserno at first. It's Popolowski in the box, Coyle in the circle. Here's the 0-1. Skied high in the infield. Giuliano makes the grab, and that is a huge first out here in the top of the fourth inning.
Really big time play there by Giuliano, but also really good pitch there by Coyle. Coming in on the upper half of the zone, trusting her stuff to get the weak contact up in the air. Big out there for the Cougars.
Just what the doctor ordered. And now they are one pitch away from potentially getting out of this jam. A team that turns double plays at a high rate. Now would be a great time for Coyle to get a ground ball. Rael Gorman, the junior out of Temecula Valley High School, stepping up in a big moment for Pace University. Here's the 1-0. That one misses inside, counts 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the 2-0. That one's in there. 2-1 the count. Savannah Coyle threw a complete game shutout against Pace University back in 2023. Trying to emulate a little bit of that performance here. And a big swing and a miss there to get the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Feel the tension here in San Marcos. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled back, will do it again. Coyle struggled in the series at Sonoma State on the mound. In 6 innings pitched, she allowed 5 earned runs on 11 hits. Here's the 2-2. This one is lifted into shallow right. Deplich comes in and makes a great play. Strong throw in from right is in time to gun down Barino. And the Cal State San Marcos Cougars, they load the bases up thanks to Jaylene Sloss walking 3 in a row, but they avoid any damage being done. A beautiful play made by Lauren Deplich, and the substitution by A.J. Robinson pays off.
Absolutely, her being able to range down the line to get the ball and use the cannon of her arm just to trust it in that big time play, gets the big double play. Big break for the Cougars. Cougars still lead here, going through 4.5.
Welcome back to the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos. Thanks for tuning in to Flow Softball and spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. My name's Cole Mirza. I'm alongside my partner, Nick Christian. Due up for the Cougars in this half inning, it's going to be Savannah Coyle, Mackenzie Giuliano, and Czar Fleischman. Giselle Garcia still in the circle for the setters. And Nick, the action has really picked up over the last couple of innings here.
Yeah, I think that the offenses for both teams were being able to make adjustments on the pitchers. But with the Cougars just being able to capitalize a little bit stronger in that bottom half of the third. But with Garcia, she's still working strong here for the Pace Settlers, being that #1 arm, knowing that she's going to be taking a lot of innings this season, but also to be the arm to trust in a lot of these situations. She's going to continue to keep on pumping into the zone here for the Settlers, trying to see what she could get from these Cougars to get to feed her defense.
3 balls and a strike now. Garcia having trouble finding the zone to start out this bottom half of the 4th inning. And it's going to be a leadoff walk issued by Garcia to Coyle. Coyle has now walked both of the 2 times that she's been up to the plate. It's going to bring up Giuliano with nobody out and a base runner at first. Giuliano grounded out her first time up back in the 2nd inning. Garcia ahead in the count on Giuliano. No balls and a strike. That one misses way up high. A ball and a strike that counts. Garcia, her next pitch will be her 70th of the game. She's been efficient to this point. As we've got a quick timeout, Coyle seemed to lose her balance over there at first base on that last play. She shakes it off, and we are back ready to go. Giuliano trying to lay down a bunt. That one is fouled straight back, and now the count's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Garcia to Giuliano. Fouled straight back, we'll do it again. Wind is blowing directly in from left field. Here's the 1-2. Misses down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. What can Garcia go to put Giuliano away here?
Again, I think she could still trust her rise ball, but these Cougars are really challenging her to bring it down more into the zone. But going there with the off speed, it seems like with the Cougars being able to battle off the rise ball right now and making the adjustments towards it, Garcia's going to start moving to her other pitches, whether it be her curve, her screw, her off speed. I think that her screw could still work a little bit more up in the zone right now, but I think that with the Cougars being on top of it, she's going to keep on trying to challenge them with other pitches.
A great at bat here from Giuliano. She recognized that 2-2 off speed in the dirt and spit on it. And then she fouls off that 3-2 offering. And she fouls off another 3-2 pitch. Giuliano not going down without a fight. Here's the 3-2. Grounded over to Matsuda. Throw over the short way to second base. Gets the lead runner Coyle, and there's one down here in the bottom of the fourth. So Mackenzie Kessler is going to pinch hit for Cal State San Marcos in place of Czar Fleischman. Kessler batting .340 on the year. In her fourth season at CSUSM, was named the all-tournament team last year in the CCAA tournament. Falls behind, no balls and a strike after that swing and miss. Garcia really hurt by the walks in this game. In that last half inning, she walked Morales to start that inning off. Then Yuri had that infield single, and then Prater with the RBI triple down the right field line to tie the ball game up. Then Donnelly with the bloop single to right to give the Cougars the lead. There goes Giuliano. She's going to take second base for the second time in this game. Mackenzie Giuliano now with 4 stolen bases on the year, and she has yet to be caught.
Really good read there by Giuliano. Sees the ball high and up straight away from Garcia's hand. As Garcia tried to go down there, but just got away from her catcher, and she's able to capitalize again with a runner on third with Giuliano's speed. That's a little scary there for Garcia, but we'll see how Kessler's able to adjust. Robinson bringing her in, as it's been seen relatively to be more successful with the left-hand side against Garcia, but with the power of Kessler, we'll see how she's able to adjust as she got behind in the count, but still putting up a good fight here against Garcia.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Giuliano able to move up to third on that passed ball. Chance for the Cougars to extend the lead. Grounder up the middle for a base hit. Coming home to score is Giuliano, and the Cal State San Marcos Cougars now lead 4-2.
Again, really good adjustment there by Kessler. She got behind on the count on the rise balls there, but just being able to adjust and see it in a 2-2 count, just take it back right where it came from the heart of the zone. Being able to extend this lead here for the Cougars by 2.
And how about the substitution there from A.J. Robinson, again paying off?
Again, really good key substitution, showing the depth of the San Marcos lineup. First with Deplich, now with Kessler. He's been able to show that he has a lot of moving parts that are able to be successful in any plug-and-play situation that he puts them in.
Marissa Morales started off that rally in the bottom of the third for San Marcos. She steps up here, and she's going to fall behind on the count. No balls, 2 strikes after a couple of foul balls. Morales walked and scored her only time up in this game so far. Here's the 0-2 from Garcia to Morales. That one just misses. A wry smile on the face of Morales tells me that one was pretty close.
That was a really good off speed there by Garcia, but it looks like her catcher just wasn't able to frame that for her to maybe get the call. But also, too, it seems like the home plate umpire is going to be shrinking the zone a little bit going into the later half of this game, calling some tight pitches that he was calling at strikes first. Seems like he's given a little bit more leeway to the batters here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Garcia. And now 3 straight misses from Garcia. Runs this count full. Morales with her second really nice at bat in this ball game. And she is going to swing and miss at that pitch up high. A big strikeout there for Garcia.
Big there, just being able to go back to her bread and butter, which is the rise ball up and out of the zone. Just being able to catch Morales, looking for something a little bit lower. Gets a big strikeout there for her. 2 outs now here in the 4th.
2 down, Brooklyn Yuri stepping up. Yuri singled in the infield in the last half inning and ended up scoring on that Prater triple. There's a slapper down the left side foul. Yuri, a sophomore from Hartville, Ohio, a graduate of Lake High School, possesses really good speed and a really strong glove in the infield for San Marcos. Here's the 1-0. That one is lined directly to Shea over there at third. A nice grab from the Oceanside product to retire the side there. But not before the Cougars add on yet another run thanks to a Mackenzie Kessler single up the middle. It's 4-2. The Cougars lead the Setters right here on Flow Softball. We are back here in San Marcos at the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos. For the top half of the 5th inning, it's Savannah Coyle back out for her 2nd inning of work. She was able to work her way out of a bases-loaded jam in that last half inning to keep the Cougars in the lead, and she's going to take on Brianna Shea. Shea singled back in that last half inning. She grounds this one softly to Waymeyer, and Waymeyer, the versatile third baseman, makes the grab and throws it over to Donnelly. There's 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning. The bases were loaded for the Setters in that last half inning, thanks to 3 walks from Jaylene Sloss. Then A.J. Robinson decided to turn to Savannah Coyle. Coyle was able to get Willa Poplawski to pop out in the infield for the first out, and then A fly out off the bat of Rael Gorman to Lauren Deplich out there in right field allowed Alexa Barino to tag up from third and try to come home to score, but Lauren Deplich showed off the cannon out there in right. Deplich has actually moved to center field now. Kessler is out there in right field. Counts 2 balls and a strike here as Riley Jenkins is ahead on Coyle. Here's the 2-1. It's now 3-1. Coyle having trouble finding the zone. Coyle looking into the dugout, getting the sign. She's ready. Here's the pitch. Lined directly to Giuliano, who makes the grab, and that's 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th.
Really good pitch there by Coyle. I think that with AJ Robinson making this change to Coyle, coming from the left side, trusting her curveball, is going to be really jamming these batters, as these pace settlers are having a really big tendency right now to be hitting to the right side. But with Coyle coming in, jamming in at the hands, you're going to see a lot of plays to the right side on jam shots, weak contact, feeding your defense. That's all you could ask for here from Coyle for the Cougars.
Sophie Valle steps up with nobody on and 2 out here in the top of the 5th. Valle grounded out her first time out and struck out her second time up. She's 0 for 2 in this game, and she's now way behind in the count here, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 misses outside. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Coyle trying to get the Cougars back into the dugout with a 2-run lead for the bottom half of the 5th inning. The 1-2 fouled off. Valle last year was selected to the NE10 third team. A career .273 hitter. The 1-2 slips out of Coyle's hand and gets all the way to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Here is the 2-2. Fouled away, we'll do it again. Nice at bat here from Valle. What do you think Coyle goes to here, Nick?
I think that she's just been able to really work her curveball a little bit lower in the zone today. The screwball hasn't been seen to Fisher, but maybe see the off speed here, try to get her to get a swing and miss or weak contact.
And she did go to the off speed, but she lost control, and she hits Valle. So good call there, Nick. Thinking about the off speed, but the execution for Coyle was not there on that one.
Yeah, just slipped out of her hands a little bit, but again, pitching coach Alyssa Razzo just said, nope, nobody's hurt, nobody's hurt. It's really big for Coyle, just knowing that she can just keep her composure, get the next out, bring her Cougars back into the dugout.
Count is no balls and a strike. Katarina Luna at the plate, and she is going to fall way behind here, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Misses way up high. 1-2 the count now. Luna walked back in the second inning. She flew out to left back in the third. So she's 0 for 1 in this ball game. And she's gonna swing and miss at that one, but it gets away from Lombardi. Lombardi, a great play to collect it at the backstop, and a strong throw over to Donnelly to retire the side. The Setters leave a runner on base there in that top half of the 5th inning. Cal State San Marcos leading Pace University 4-2 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th here in San Marcos. Delaney Prater set to lead off for the Cougars here in the bottom of the 5th. There's only one other CCAA team in action at the moment. It's San Francisco State, and actually that game has already gone final. They defeated Hawaii Pacific 4-1. And a nice comeback effort for the Gators. They trailed 1-0 heading to the bottom of the 7th inning in that game up there in San Francisco. But a walk-off grand slam for the Gators saw them take that victory. This one skied into center field. Gorman is there to make the play. There's one down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. In that game up there in San Francisco, it was Riley McDaniel who hit the walk-off grand slam. Or I should say it was a walk-off 3-run home run. And there's a drive high and deep to left field, a no-doubter off the bat of Paige Donnelly. And it is 5-2. The Cougars lead over the Setters. That is the 3rd home run of the season for Paige Donnelly. And there was absolutely no doubt once that one left the bat, Nick.
She saw that right down the heart of the plate, no doubter, as you said. Right as she saw it the first 2 steps, flips the bat, trotting around the bases, can't ask for anything better.
That is just the 3rd home run allowed this season by Giselle Garcia. Waymeyer fouls that one into foul territory down the right side. A nice running grab made there by the right fielder for the Setters. So 2 down. That was Willa Poplawski out there in right. So here's Gianna Lombardi. 2 down. San Marcos have added a run on thanks to Paige Donnelly's bomb over the left field fence. And there's a fly ball to medium depth right. Poplawski under it, makes the play, and the side is retired there in the bottom of the 5th. But Paige Donnelly with her 3rd home run of the season makes it 5-2 Cougars as we head to the 6th inning. Top half of the 6th inning, Savannah Coyle in the circle.
Now batting number 20,
Alexa Barino will lead off for the setters. It's 5-2 Cougars lead. And there's a nice bunt laid down the third base line, but Madison Waymeyer with the heads-up play to let it roll foul.
Really good IQ there from Waymeyer. Sees the ball's tailing a little bit to her right, knows that she's playing right at the line. Just being able to read, that's huge, because Barino was able to get a big jump off the bunt there.
The Cougars trying to pick up their 4th win in a row and their 6th of their last 7 games. Meanwhile, Pace trying to stop the bleeding a little bit. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games. Counts 2 balls and a strike now. Pace have lost 3 in a row. They're trying to avoid dropping their 4th in a row. Three balls and a strike. Coyle again struggling to find the zone, but has yet to walk a batter in this game. Has done a nice job of battling back when she gets into these situations. The 3-1 is fouled away, and it's going to go 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Barino skies this one in the infield. Under it is Yuri, and there's 1 down. So the Cougars will take on Cal State Monterey Bay this weekend in a 4-game series to resume conference play. Nick, talk a little bit about how important that series is for this group.
I think, just again, as I reiterated earlier, it's always going to be a dogfight in the CCAA. You can't underestimate a team, and every game is important, especially going towards the back end for postseason, for the conference tournament, and for the NCAA tournament. For people that don't know, with Division II, everything is very much regionalized, so it's only the top 8 teams from all 3 conferences here in the West region that make it to the postseason for the NCAA tournament, compared to the national circuit of D1, where it's a little bit more of a leeway, and it's really based on where you're doing nationally. So I think that for these Cougars, it's going to be super important, as every game counts, and not only for it just being for the conference, but also for the region as well.
That is a great point. These games here today mean a lot for this group as well, as there are now 2 down after Nikki Chong grounds out to shortstop there. So Giselle Garcia will step up for the 3rd time in this game. She hit one off the top of the wall back in the 3rd inning. She walked her last time up in the 4th, and she also reached on an error back in the 1st inning. So she's been on base every single time she's been at the plate today. But she is way behind here, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 misses outside. It's 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2. Grounded to Coyle. Easy play for Coyle. She tosses over to Donnelly, and that's going to retire the side there in the top half of the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down for the setters. It's 5-2 here on Flow Softball. The Cal State San Marcos Cougars lead the Pace University setters. Bottom half of the 6th inning, Giselle Garcia still in the circle for the setters. Garcia is up to 92 pitches in this game. She's going to face off against Savannah Coyle here. Garcia is so far in 5 innings of work, has allowed 5 earned runs on 5 hits. She's walked 3 and struck out 5. Counts 1-1 after that one finds the zone. This has been the toughest outing of the year for Garcia. She had not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of her appearances prior to this ball game. Coming into this game, she had allowed only 5 earned runs all year. And today, she's allowed 5 earned runs in this one ball game, Nick.
I think it just really shows the growth and the adjustments that the Cougars have made for this game. She stymied them through the first time through the lineup, made them look really quiet as they were ahead 2-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd inning, but then coming through the second time through the lineup, key adjustments made by the Cougars, maybe a different mentality when it comes to approaching her with the up ball in the upper half of the zone. So we're going to see how this really translates into the later half of the season for Garcia, maybe being able to make later adjustments through conference play, going through the 2nd to the 3rd time through the lineup for the Settlers.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And there's a called strike 3 on Coyle. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Really good adjustment there by Garcia. She was able to work the rise ball a little bit lower in the zone, caught Coyle off guard there on the inside half of the plate, as she's been able to really work that. As she's able to work that throughout the lower half of the zone mark, she's going to get more looks as they're not really seeing it through.
There's a liner through the left side of the infield, tipped off of Shea and Matsuda's gloves. And Giuliano is on with a 1-out single.
Again, for the Cougars, they've been really seeing a lot of success through hunting the first pitch from Garcia. She's been still pounding the zone through now the 6th inning for her outing here against them. So just being able to see the ball early and take advantage of strikes through the heart of the plate is going to be key for the Cougars.
Mackenzie Kessler, 1 for 1 in this game with an RBI single. Giuliano runs really well over there at first. She's already got a stolen base in this game. Garcia way ahead on Kessler here. Here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Garcia with 6 strikeouts in this game. That is impressive. The Cougars are a team that is very hard to get strikeouts against. You look at some of the games that Garcia has appeared in earlier this year. She had 18 strikeouts at Fairmont State. There goes Giuliano, and she's going to make it to second without a throw. She had 12 strikeouts at Shippensburg. She had 15 strikeouts at Concordia, 11 strikeouts at Dominguez Hills, 9 strikeouts at Biola. And there's a ball skied high into center field. Gorman coming over to make the play, and there are 2 down now here in the bottom of the 6th.
And again, I know, as you mentioned earlier, this is a tough outing for Garcia, but for Garcia, I wouldn't be completely frustrated with myself knowing that I'm going up against such a potent offense and being able to be relatively successful for the most part, holding the team and carrying this entire game for the Settlers is a lot of weight on her shoulders. So very impressive by her from the get-go here for Pace as a whole.
Marissa Morales has had a productive day for San Marcos. She walked and scored on the Prater triple back in the 3rd inning. She struck out swinging back in the 4th. And she's way ahead of the count here, 2 balls, no strikes. Both times she was up at the plate today, she worked a full count. And she's now way ahead, 3-0. Time called by Katarina Luna. She wants to go out and have a word with Giselle Garcia. A quick reminder to stay tuned with us here on Flow Softball. About 30 minutes after the conclusion of this ball game, we will have the 2nd leg of the doubleheader to be played between Pace University and Cal State San Marcos. So don't go anywhere. We've got a lot of fun softball headed your way the rest of this afternoon. Here is the 3-0 from Garcia to Morales. And it's going to be in there for a strike. Garcia well over 100 pitches at this point. Closing in on 110. And there's ball 4 to Morales. Cougars with 2 runners on base with 2 down, and look who's coming up to the plate. Jillian Albiati has not played since March 4th at Biola. This year she's batting .429 with 4 home runs and 16 RBI, and she also possesses a slugging percentage at .698. She's coming up for AJ Robinson here.
Again, terrifying as it is, it shows the depth of this roster. She didn't get the nod for the start today in this game, but coming in off the bench, another huge bat for the Cougars. It's going to be a big challenge here for Garcia to see how she's approaching here for Albiati.
Albiati offers at the first pitch from Garcia. Counts no balls and a strike. Albiati, a member of the All-CCAA second team each of the last 2 seasons. And she falls behind at the count here, 0-2. The 0-2 fouled back. Albiati staying alive. Let's see if another one of the substitutions made by AJ Robinson comes up big for the Cougars. The 0-2 is fouled straight back again. Jillian Albiati made history last season for Cal State San Marcos when she pitched for the baseball team and played in a game for the softball team in the same day. And she lines this one into right field. Giuliano coming around third. She's going to score. Morales is in safely at third. And the substitution from A.J. Robinson pays off yet again. It's an RBI single off the bat of Jillian Albiati.
Again, just making the adjustment, seeing the ball up in the zone. She's just able to stay on top of the ball, try to get it down on the ground. Was a line drive down to the right fielder, but being able to get a single out of that, get another run for the Cougars. Now they're ahead by 4 going to the 6th inning.
Now batting number 42, Prater.
Cougars leading 6-2 now. Delaney Prater digging in. Brooklyn Uri will be running at first base for Albiati. Prater had that 2 RBI triple earlier on in this game. Uri is going to take second base. No throw from the setters. This one gets away from Luna. Morales making a break for the plate. She's in there. The Cougars lead by 5. It's 7-2, and Brooklyn Uri moves up to third base.
Again, unfortunate for the Settlers. It just seems like that was a untimely error there by the catcher. It felt like she had the ball in control for a little bit, but just let it get away from her. Brings more of a lead here for the Cougars.
Prater drives that one foul down the left field line. Count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Garcia to Prater. Sky down the left field line, foul, and it's gonna get down, so Prater will have another opportunity here. It's been all San Marcos ever since that 3rd inning rally by Pace University. Cougars have scored in every frame since then, and it's 7 unanswered runs. There's a grounder to the right side, fielded by Borino, tossed over to first. I'm sorry, that's Sophie Valle. Nice play there by Valle, and that's gonna retire the side there in the bottom of the 6th inning. But not before the Cougars add on a couple of more runs. It is 7-2 heading to the final frame here in San Marcos. Top of the 7th inning here at the softball field at the campus of Cal State San Marcos. The Cougars are 3 outs away from improving to 21-5 overall on the year. Trying to win their 4th game in a row and their 6th out of their last 7. Meanwhile, Pace are trying to avoid dropping their 4th in a row and their 7th out of the last 10 ball games. They're going to need a big rally here in the 7th inning. My name is Cole Mirza. I'm alongside Nick Christian. The Cougars, with first-year head coach A.J. Robinson bringing in his coaching staff. As this one's grounded over to Coyle. Coyle fields and tosses over to Donnelly. There's one away. He brought over Alyssa Razzo and Rick Aldrich. What kind of impact has this new coaching staff made on this group, Nick?
Yeah, with Alyssa Razzo coming in with some pitching experience, she's able to give a different perspective and a different look that's been able to develop with the pitching staff here for San Marcos, and it's been relatively successful as both Coyle, Jaylene, and Fink have had relatively strong starts to their seasons this year. along with Aldrich, who's been able to help with the fielding aspects, has really helped strengthen this defensive core here for the Cougars.
Here is Rael Gorman. Grounds this one down the left side, foul. Willa Poplawski with the ground out to start off this top half of the 7th inning. Gorman has a single in this game, and she grounds this one over to Yuri. Nice backhand play, but a strong throw over to first is not in time to get Gorman. It may have been in time, but it was a little bit off the mark, and it pulled Donnelly off the bag.
Really good play there by Yuri to stop the ball in the 5-6 hole, but with her throw just took Donnelly a little bit off, too much off of first base, but a really strong play there. Tried to keeps the game to have a single instead of a double there.
Brianna Shea, the hometown product from Oceanside, stepping in. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Here's the 1-1. This one gets away from Lombardi. Gorman moves up to second base. That one's fouled down the right side. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. The Setters down to their last 2 outs. That one just misses. Lombardi trying to backpick Gorman over there at second. Well, we know the type of arm that Lombardi possesses there behind the plate.
Yeah, Lombardi has one heck of an arm. As we saw in a couple games ago, she was able to pick off a couple runners here against Vanguard. So knowing that she has the arm is something that is good for the Cougars to possess, especially late half of this game. But big strikeout there by Coyle, trusting her stuff, being able to just work through the heart of the plate, gives the Cougars 2 outs, and they're just 1 out away from this victory here.
Savannah Coyle picks up her 2nd strikeout of the day, and there are now 2 down. Riley Jenkins swings and misses at the first pitch from Coyle. Here's the 0-1. Grounded to Yuri. Fielded cleanly. Strong throw over to Donnelly, and that's going to end the ball game. Cal State San Marcos pick up a 7-2 victory over Pace University in Game 1 of this doubleheader scheduled for here today. The winning pitcher, Savannah Coyle. Her final stat line goes 4 innings pitched. She did not allow a single hit in those 4 innings. She struck out 2, didn't walk anyone. It was a perfect outing for Savannah Coyle. She earns the victory. She moves to 6-1 on the year. The losing pitcher, Giselle Garcia, her final stat line, 6 innings pitched. She allowed 5 earned runs, 7 runs total. She struck out 6, walked 4. The Cougars improve to 21-5 on the year. Pace falls to 6-7. This is the 4th win in a row for Cal State San Marcos, and it's their 6th win in their last 7 games. As for Pace, they've now lost 4 in a row, and they've lost 7 out of their last 10. Nick, what did you take away from this ball game here today?
The biggest thing I took away was the performance by Savannah Coyle, really coming in relief and just being able to trust her stuff, lock in, and have one heck of a performance, basically having a no-hitter. After coming in a big clutch situation with no outs, bases loaded, there's nothing else more you could ask for if I'm being head coach A.J. Robinson, and then just letting the bats translate it for themselves, the big adjustments being made against a really good pitcher in Giselle Garcia. Got to give a nod to the Cougars for their adjustments, and hopefully we're able to see that here in Game 2.
Yeah, the turning point in that ball game, Pace University had the bases loaded with no outs in the top half of the 4th inning. Jaylene Sloss had walked 3 in a row to load the bases to lead off that 4th. Robinson turns to Coyle. Coyle gets Poplawski to fly out in the infield for the first out, and then she gets Gorman to fly out to right for that second out, and then Lauren Deplich with the cannon gunning down Barrino at the plate, and that really changed the momentum of this ball game. The Cougars never looked back from that point, and they pick up their 21st win out of their first 26 ball games here in 2025. That was a really fun ball game. Thank you for tuning in here on Flow Softball. My name's Cole Mirza. For Nick Christian, we'd like to thank the Sports Information Director here at Cal State San Marcos, Mindy Mills, and everybody else who works so hard to put these events on each and every day. Make sure to stay tuned for the second leg of our doubleheader between Pace University and Cal State San Marcos right here on Flow Softball in just about 30 minutes. From the softball field here at the campus of Cal State San Marcos, we bring to you our second leg of the doubleheader between the Pace University Setters, coming in at 6 and 7 overall, taking on the Cal State San Marcos Cougars, ranked number 15 in the nation, coming in at 21 and 5 overall. Let's take a look at the defense for the Cougars in this ball game. It's going to be Mackenzie Giuliano out there in left, Lauren Deplich in center, Marissa Morales in right. The infield goes like this: Albiati at third, Yuri at short, Elias at second, Donnelly at first. Behind the dish doing the catching, Olivia Rivera. And in the circle today for the Cougars, Dahlia Fink.
Yeah, Dahlia Fink is going to be coming in with a really impressive performance in the last series against Sonoma State. She collected 2 out of the 3 victories that the Cougars had really good outings against a really tough Sonoma team that was putting up a number on them in the first game, but came through. She's going to be having a little bit more of a spinnier pitch, a little bit slower, using her movement to her advantage, and just seeing her experience. She did transfer from an NE10 school, coming from the NE10 conference of Bentley. So she has some experience here with the Pace Settlers. So just seeing how she's able to settle into this game, use her stuff, be able to take advantage of some opportunities and capitalize here for the Cougars.
Dahlia Fink is going to take on Kaylee Matsuda, the shortstop for the Setters. Matsuda, a junior out of Kaneohe, Hawaii, went to the Iolani School. And the first pitch of this ball game misses down low. We are underway. First pitch at 2:48 p.m. here in San Marcos, just about 12 miles from the coast in northern San Diego. Counts 1-1 after Dahlia Fink fires in a strike. Pace University come all the way from New York City. They've traveled cross country for this West Coast road trip, which has not gone all too well for the Setters. They are now 2-5 on this West Coast road trip. They split doubleheaders with Concordia and Cal State Dominguez Hills. They were swept by Biola, and they lost the first game of this doubleheader earlier today to the Cougars. Pace coming in at 6-7 overall. They started out the year 4-0, but since then they've lost 7 of their last 9 games. There's a grounder over to Elias, and Elias makes the easy play over there at second base for the first out of this ball game. Jade Alvarado, the senior from West Covina, California, steps up for the Setters. A career .246 hitter, making her 86th appearance in a Pace uniform.